Hey everybody, it's Binge of the Body Whisperer here. How's it going? Walking through my park. Haven't done this, well I have, but I haven't done this on a video in a while. This is the DailyWEE! Looking both ways before I go on. You never know when the bicycles are around. Two things I wanted to talk about today. I heard two things in the last, so yesterday I heard something, and then today I heard something. Which is kind of funny because they're kind of inverse. So yesterday I heard, it's a saying, I was watching an anime called One Punch Man, and it's fascinating. It's great. I've watched it. I've gone through the series for a second time just because I wanted to see if there's stuff I missed, and definitely I missed stuff on the first pass. Like, it's definitely layered, and it's great. So, but he said, he gets to the end of the day and he's like, he hasn't achieved this goal that he wanted to achieve. And he gets to the end of the day and it's a problem if he doesn't achieve this certain goal, which is to, by the end of the week, he needs to help people, or he loses his class of being a registered hero, right? So he says, well, I'll leave tomorrow's problems to tomorrow's me. And I was just like, that's such a great saying. Because sometimes, if you're worrying about something in the future, obviously, we live in a world where we can have insurance and we can have, I'm going to turn around because there's a, might be a little bit noisy over there. There's a guy leaf blowing. We have insurance, and there is, people planning for retirement, and then there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, if that's all, but sometimes I think in today, you worry about something that's not even happened yet, and maybe it's 2 weeks from now, a week from now, 2 months from now. How will I have the strength for this? How will I be able to achieve that? Well, if you just do the little things today, focus on today, that future you, if you just take the little steps of little things of action every day, by the time you get to that 3 months, whatever your future problem is, if you believe that you're going to be given the ability to handle any problem that arises, and that doesn't mean you're going to be a millionaire. That doesn't mean you're going to, because that's kind of out of your control in a sense. Like, all you have control over is doing action, putting it out there. You don't have control over what you get back. But then you again have control over how you perceive or accept the situation, right? So that's one. So that's a simple one. And then the other one was that's not a simple one. That's easy. It's easy and hard all at the same, because it's easy to think about it, but then to actually kind of digest that and really get it into your body, like philosophy, your logic, and then into the body. And that's my order. I typically have, it's usually for me, it's like logic, philosophy, and then it takes me a while to get it into my body because that takes practice, right? So the other one was Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. The Holy Trinity of regret. And I just thought that was such a great, I was watching a stand-up comedian and he said that. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, the Holy Trinity of regret. And that's just, regret is something that is a funny thing. Because once you've done something, that's it. That's it. Like, why would you try or worry or think, I wish it would have been different? Whatever that choice was, whatever that thing that you did, that is bringing you to where you are in the moment. And either you're going to learn from it or not. But to continue to, and I also think of if my brain starts to get into that pattern. And it can be a pattern. It can be a learned pattern. You can learn it from people around you. And then how do you break that pattern? It's focusing on the now, the present, the actions, what can I do? And then also what I like to think of that helped me get out of that pattern of regret. I should have done this, I wish I would have done that, or wish this would have been this way, or I wish I could have, or I should have. The way I got into it is what I feel is that takes you out of the, if you can focus on that, that takes you out of the present moment and kind of makes you useless to yourself and those around you. It's a very selfish, if you want to think of it that way of thinking. Because now you're of no use to anyone because you're stuck in this morbid, I wish, more, you're stuck in this morbid thought pattern. And it's easier said than done. Totally easier said than done to get out of it. But just observe. That's about the first step you can do. If you start to observe yourself saying, well, I'm struggling with this, or I'm struggling with that, or I have, and people around you, again, I tell this to people, go talk to somebody you trust. Find somebody who has no, they have nothing to gain from telling you a lie, and will just tell you the truth, and they have nothing to lose by telling you the truth. Find somebody like that. Maybe it's somebody who's not in your life a ton, but that you trust, or that something about the way that they move through life, you're like, wow, that person right there seems to have an energy or something coming off of them that I appreciate, and wow, I'd kind of like to have that. So maybe it's not somebody who's super close to you, but maybe who kind of has met you, has seen you, and how you interact, and maybe could give you some thoughts that you're not going to feel like that they have any ulterior motive, that they are too afraid to tell you the truth, that they'll lose you as a friendship. It's best if it's not in a closed hierarchy, because that can be like you work together, things like that. So it's kind of best if it's somebody outside of that. Family, depending on where you're at, that's a closed hierarchy. The reason closed hierarchy is then you're kind of trapped within. If they don't feel safe to tell you the truth, they're just going to continue to tell you the lie, and you're not really going to get anywhere, right? So just some thoughts. So that's it for today. Binge of the Body Whisperer out. It's the DailyWEE. Have fun. Keep moving, people, and we'll talk to you soon.